whole system, because we have two hemispheres of the brain, the left brain, which is about words and this world reality and, you know, the perception of this reality. We have the right brain, which is where you get creativity, inspiration, and connection, and then you've got this corpus callosum, which connects the two. First of all, we use a fraction of our brains. Why is that? And the other thing is that what the system does is it turns out left brain prisoners. They run the system. And it does it by putting information through schools and colleges and universities into the left brain, which it then says at time of an exam, give me all that back. And if you tell me what I've told you well enough to believe, then you'll pass the exam and you'll be very successful. Anyone that takes that information into the right brain and puts their spin on it, or questions it, or sees through it, and puts that in the exam, they are perceived as a disruptive influence in the classroom.
I really, really love children's art. I love to watch them making the art. I love to see, maybe more than anything, their intense concentration on what they're doing. They don't look at what their neighbor's doing. They're not looking left and right and upside down. They are just into the work, putting that brush into the paint and going with it. And unfortunately, when they become a little older, they begin to be self-critical, and they don't like what they're doing. Flower doesn't look like a flower, this doesn't look like a house, a tree doesn't look like a tree, and they're very, very unhappy about that. Or they'll say, show me how to make a tree. Well, I, as an artist, wouldn't think of showing a child how to make his own tree. He or she has to make their own creation. I say to people, professionals or Sunday painters or whatever you want to call someone that paints occasionally, and that's fine, just empty your mind. Don't be critical. Don't think of what so-and-so did. Don't think of what you saw in an art book. Paint your own images. The most important thing is to take that brush, put it in the paint just as the child does, and go with it.
And what are you going to be when you grow up? My teachers in school encouraged me and helped me to decide. I was picked as one of the 3 little maids from School Are We. Now I was going to be in the theater.
Nobody's safe for we care for none. Life is a joke that has just begun. 3 little maids from school.
But when we played Greek games and I did the maypole dance, I knew I was going to be a dancer.
There's a reason education sucks, because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest.